Yo, what's up, guys? It's Andrew from GaragebandProfessional.com. So today I'm coming at you with 8 different tips for GarageBand users. I imagine that you probably haven't heard these before. It's possible that you have, but I doubt it. I've never seen them online before, so uh, you probably haven't heard them. We'll see though. It's up to you. Just let me know in the comments if you have. I don't think they're online at all, with the exception of maybe one or two of them. But anyway, so let's just jump right into it. The number one, this is most relevant to me right now because I just started doing it a few months back. But I mean, you should separate your drum kit into different track regions. I laid this out in a previous video and article in my drummer track article. You can check out the YouTube video. I already have one about where I did the whole tutorial for separating the drum kit into different tracks. Now, obviously this has the benefit of, allowing for more customization in terms of what pieces of the kit you're using, as well as, the dynamics processors and FX plugins that you have on each track region. So in addition to that, it also helps your panning. So, you can pan each part of the kit according to how it actually is in real life or in terms of how the audience would see it. It's a common mixing practice to mix the drums in such a way where it's mixed where in the audience's perspective. So kind of like you feel me? Like literally from the audience perspective. It's up to you with how you want to mix it. I usually do it from the opposite way. I usually do it from the drummer's perspective, but that's just the way I do it. Everyone's got different ways of doing it. But yeah, so I'm not going to show you how to do that in this article or in this video because I already did it in another one. I linked to the drummer track article and video in this article, so you can check it out. The next one is to use the note pattern presets down in the smart controls. You can kind of see it here in the image. I'll bring up GarageBand right now to show you what I'm talking about. So I got my instrument track selected, and then you'll see down here in the smart controls that you have this little icon right here. It's the arpeggiator. You just click on it, and you can choose, all these different sounds that it has. So you can choose one of them, and it sounds pretty dope. So let's do it right now. We're gonna solo it and show you what it sounds like. Here we go. Come on now. I imagine that I actually have to copy a MIDI region that there's notes in it. So we'll go like that. So that obviously that one doesn't sound too great. Let's try this one. So yeah, I mean it doesn't sound too great on this riff that I made, but it gives you an idea of what you can do. It'll sound a lot better in sometimes with other instruments. I'll show you what it sounds like without the arpeggiator on. This is the way it sounds. So yeah, I mean, just experiment with that. No one's ever mentioned this before, I think, or at least I don't remember anybody pointing it out. Maybe they have. Anyway, let's move on to the next part. Use parallel compression. So this is one that I stumbled upon in a few books that I've read. Apparently, the parallel compression is something that came out of New York. Apparently, New Yorkers like to use a lot of compression back in the day. The idea behind it was it made it kind of like more aggressive and punchy. And in the book I wrote, he kind of compared it to like the way that New Yorkers tend to be. I don't know any New Yorkers, but that's what he says in the book. He just says that it's like, a reflection of their demeanor. But anyway, it's super simple, man. Like what you do is you just, let's just use this one as an example. So you have this one where the compressor is on, right? This file. So what you do is you just go new track with duplicate settings, and then maybe you pan it to the opposite side. It's at plus 50. So let's put this one at negative 50. And then you turn the compressor off on this one. And then that's what you do. Essentially, you just duplicate the track, have compression on the one, and then not compression on the other. And it's as simple as that, really. I find that it works for some instruments more than the others. So for instance, I find that it works great for the boutique 808. Also for individual parts of the kit, like the drum kit, and or guitars. I did it on a client for a client song recently with the guitars, and I found that it had the effect of just bringing the guitars into such a more prominent position in the mix. Like it really highlighted the guitars in the song and made it sound really dope. You know, it was definitely that sound that I was looking for in the mix, because I found that before the mixes or the guitars kind of sounded thin. So when I did use parallel compression on the guitars, I found that it sounded a lot better. Now, I just want to add that, you know, I'm reading a lot of this stuff in books, and I think many of this is meant for analog equipment. So it's very possible that I'm kind of misinterpreting how to do this stuff. So, you know, if you're a legit educated engineer and you're pulling your hair out right now, just, you know, take it easy, you know. For me, this is how I've been doing it, and I find that it actually works. So yeah, let's move on to the next thing. The next one is called the Haas trick. And this is when you kind of have like a bit of delay set up on the track. You have two duplicate tracks, kind of like parallel compression. You have the one which is pan in the one direction, and the other is pan in the other. So you kind of like convert the one track into mono and you pan it into the opposite direction. And then you put a delay on it between like 1 and 35 milliseconds. So like not too much delay, you know. And then you pan it to the opposite side with also the utility, the gain plugin, where you convert it to mono. So you have the duplicated track with delay and converted to mono, pan to the other side. And I guess this has the effect of kind of creating more of a realistic and spacious sound. And so I did it here on this guitar in my song right here. So I got this one right here, right? It's in mono, convert to mono as well. And then this one is also in mono. You can see convert to mono right here. And this one, there's really no delay. There's a bit of tape delay on it, but not that much. And then on this one, I have the Valhalla delay on it, and then I have the delay set to about 35 milliseconds. So I just have it panned to the opposite side. This one's at negative 50, and this one's at plus 50. And I find that it just kind of fills it out a little bit, makes it sound cooler. And it also has the added benefit of making it sound a hell of a lot better in mono, which means that it's probably going to sound a lot better in stereo as well. So, I mean, it's super simple, man. Like, it's really not sophisticated. You just put a bit of delay on the one, and, you convert both tracks to mono. Or you can keep one in stereo and then have the other one in mono. And, you just put a little bit of delay on the second one, 35 milliseconds or so, and then pan it to the opposite way, and then it's going to have this effect of making it more spacious. And there's other ways to do the Haas trick. I'm not going to get into it here. I wrote about it in my article, but yeah, it's super simple. Give it a shot sometime and see how it sounds for you. Yeah, and also, make sure to check out the Valhalla Frequency Echo plugin. You're going to need it because the Garageband delay doesn't have the option to adjust it in milliseconds exactly, at least from what I understand. So, I have the link to this plugin on my in my article at garagebandprofessional.com. Yeah, and then the next one, I also picked this up from a cool book. It's when you use the lame encoder in Audacity for like the best MP3 encoding that you can have. Because when you encode your tracks as MP3s, you tend to lose some of the information and some of the quality. So what you want to do is you want to download Audacity, right? You go to audacityteam.org. You download Audacity. Where is it? Download Mac. And then you can choose this one, Audacity 2.32 DMG file. So you click on it, you go through the process, download it. And then once you're done with that, you want to go to this website that I laid out right here, lamebuanzo.org. Just type that link in there. It's going to bring you here, right? And then you're going to see down here, as I pointed out in the article, that you can download the Lame library as well as the FFmpeg library. So you download this one right here, recommended download. Download both of them, go through the installation wizard, and then what you want to do is you open up Audacity. Let's find it. Where are you? For some reason, I'm having trouble finding my applications recently. I don't know. The more I use Mac, the more I'm kind of annoyed by how they go about it. So let's find it. Where are you? Applications. Where are you? I'm going to have to edit this part out. I'm going to end up wasting way too much time looking for this. Oh, here we go. Applications. So I'm going to bring up Audacity. I have it right here. So after you've installed both of those libraries, you should be able to export your song. So see right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to export this track right now, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So you go share. You want to export your song to disk as an AIFF file, which is the highest format available in Mac. I usually choose uncompressed 24-bit. So let's export this. Hopefully I don't run out of disk space, as I always do. And hopefully this doesn't run out of memory as well. Anyway, yeah, so we're just waiting for this to export right now. There we go. So it's right here. Now we're going to open up Audacity. And we're going to go open. We're going to open, go to the desktop because that's where I exported it. Hit open. So you can read the files directly from the original faster. So there, here's my track. Oh, I actually have the arpeggiator still set up on it. So, I mean, that was a mistake. I didn't mean to have the arpeggiator set up on it. But either way, it doesn't really matter. So what you want to do from here, now that you're in Audacity, just assume that that mistake just wasn't made. You go export as MP3, and then because you have all the libraries installed and whatnot, you can choose, how you're going to export it. So you can see all these different options right here. You got like MP3, FLAC, all that good stuff. You can choose the quality, go to 320 kilobits or whatever it's called, which is the highest format available. And then, yeah, you just export it using Audacity, and you'll have a much higher quality MP3 recording. I just want to say that I'm new to this as well. I just discovered this, so it's possible that I'm kind of misinterpreting the information that I picked up on. But just let me know in the comment section if you know better. I don't know. This is what I learned how to do. I don't know if it's 100% correct or not, but I just figured I would share with you something that I learned. But yeah, so let's exit out of this. I'm going to delete this because this is the wrong one anyway. So yeah, let's move on to the next thing. Oh yeah, you also want to set up your delay to match the tempo of your song. So this is one that I picked up on as well. What you want to do is you just look at your song and what the BPM is. So this one is 80 beats per minute. So I got this delay calculator set up in the article. Here's the website. So here's your delay time calculator. Hit 80. So it's going to give you it's going to shoot out some numbers for what you should set the delay to. So in the case of my song, let's choose this one. Let's choose the Eru. Look at the score, figure out what kind of notes it is. So these are 16th notes. So if we were going to put delay on this and we wanted to thicken it up a bit using delay, you just look down here. Okay, 16th note, that's 187 right here, milliseconds. So you would choose it. Let's go into the plugins of it. Here we go, the delay right here. Where are you? Valhalla. So you're going to set your delay to 187. And there. And then that's going to match the tempo of this song. So, I mean, it's really as simple as that. I mean, this is a really common practice that mixing engineers do. They just set the delay to the tempo of the song rather than just setting it to any old random number. So, I mean, it's really as simple as that. You know, you want to make sure that you understand what these notes mean, like a whole note, half note, quarter note, eighth note. It's really not too sophisticated. You can look that up somewhere else. Anyway, let's move on to the next thing. I'm almost running out of disk space. I don't know if you saw that pop up just now. Oh yeah, the leave headroom. So you've probably heard this one before. However, they're usually not too specific in terms of how much headroom you should leave. I find that it's best to go down to, when you first start mixing, just go ahead and push all your faders down to about -10 or -15. You know, this is going to, create space for you to increase the volume up or down. So yeah, that's a good move. I'm just going to delete some of this stuff from my trash right now. That way I don't, it doesn't mess with my recording. And there's one more in here. Oh yeah, do an up and down mix. So this is kind of self-explanatory. What you want to do is that, whenever you mix a song for someone, it's worth noting that, usually there's going to be a few instruments that they're either going to want turned up or turned down. So just do multiple mixes of the same song where the most common offending instruments, you have the volume turned up a bit by a few dB, and then you have the volume turned down a bit by a dB. So, you just turn up the vocals by 2 dB, then have another one where the vocals are turned down by 2 dB. So you have 3 different mixes available. Send the one that you think is the best to the client, but then have the other ones ready. So that way, if they ask for it, you can just quickly send it to them, and it'll save you a lot of time. So anyway, that's all for this video. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you haven't heard all of these before a million times. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.